The boy band One Direction has taken the hearts of millions of teenage girls since their 2010 performance on The X Factor. Fandoms are an inclusive community that provide fans a familiar space to share their passions and unique identity with towards one another. The Directioneer fandom is ultimately a community that allows fans to have separate identities, yet simultaneously feel united through their similar ideas and passions towards the same boy band, One Direction. Through the analysis of the general history of fandoms, with an understanding of the unique discourse and knowledge of Directioneers, and the separate identities that fans have, one is fully able to comprehend the sense of unity and inclusivity that the Directioneer fandom offers towards its members. The history of fandom aids in the basic understanding of Directioneers and kind of the basis of what the fandom of the Directioneer fandom is based off of. One should begin to first understand the general history of fandom communities. The first traces of an institutionalized fandom, like the Directioneer fandom, were seen in the 1930s with the creation of the Sherlock Holmes novels. In addition, according to researcher Thomas Broen, the word fan arises from the words fanaticus or fanatic, which has connotations of fancy, religious zeal, and also overactive engagement. There are multiple actions associated with becoming a Directioneer that simultaneously parallel with the generalized history of fandom communities. Researchers Knezia Korakova and Rebecca Black analyzed and interviewed multiple members of the Directioneer fandom and found that, quote, activities associated with fangirling included reading and writing about the band, cataloging the band's members' tweets and retweets, scrolling through pictures of the members, and feeling their hearts stop when a One Direction song came on the radio. According to the participants of Korakova and Black's research, a fangirl for One Direction is, quote, someone who understands herself to be a particularly enthusiastic fan of something. Similar to how Broen explained that a fan is someone that has overactive engagement about a topic, researchers Korakova and Black found a similar motif within the Directioneers that they interviewed. Everyone had extreme commitment and engagement within their community and for the band members themselves. While it is important to understand the overall history of fandoms and how it parallels to that of the Directioneer community, it's just as important to understand the particular language and knowledge that these Directioneers have within their community. In order to become a Directioneer, one must present a certain discourse and knowledge towards the band. Korakova and Black's research found that there were multiple ways a fan could present this knowledge and language towards the boy band. These two researchers found that, quote, asserting yourself as an authentic One Direction fangirl meant having deep personal knowledge of the band members and their music, correctly using acronyms, slang, and memes about the band, and engaging in a discourse of emotion when talking about the band themselves. Specific knowledges and ways of talking became identity markers for participants brought up in conversations about being a fangirl or fangirling in a particular instance. To be literate and knowledgeable as a fangirl, one must be steeped in a particular discourse that matches that of the community. The discourse within the fandom plays an important role in distinguishing oneself as a Directioneer. However, the fandom also offers members a sense of identity while simultaneously feeling included within the community. Members within the One Direction fandom experience a sense of unity while also having their own sense of identity within the community as well. Korakova and Black's research not only focused on interviewing Directioneers, but also on analyzing how their involvement in the community offered fans to have differing identity stances while also participating in this inclusive fan base and community. By referring to the creation of fan fiction, which fan fiction is essentially novels or books and storylines written about the band members created by the fans themselves, the researchers were able to find that fans occupy different roles. For example, someone could be an editor or a Photoshop expert. Photoshop expert being someone that creates the cover story or the cover picture for the novel itself. And each of these roles took up different identity stances. So someone could be a knowledgeable fan, or a serious writer, or a friend, someone that's supporting the author that's creating this fan fiction, while also engaging within their community. So within this community, fans have their own identity stances, while simultaneously feeling included within the fandom itself. Researchers Betsy Rosenblock and Rebecca Tushnet also interviewed individual Directioneers to see how the fandom provided a sense of community towards its members. Each of these fangirls essentially said the same themes and motifs, The researchers found that through the creation of fan works, such as fan fiction, quote, fans reported feeling unique, able to contribute creatively to fandoms, but not alone. One Direction may have broken up, but its fan-based community made up of millions of Directioneers still persists to this day, either through social media networks such as Tumblr, Twitter, or through fan fiction-based networks such as Wattpad. The Directioneer community plays a large role in allowing its participants to have their own sense of identity while also having a sense of unity within the fandom as well. In all, the Directioneer community is just like any other fandom, but it still has its own individualized discourse and identity stances, which ultimately allow fans to still feel included and united within this fandom as well. For many fans, the Directioneer community is like a second home where they can be themselves, while simultaneously feeling included in something that's bigger than themselves, a second family, something to contribute to while also having their own unique identity as well.